Well, good midday. Good midday to you, one and all. Our prayer is that things are going well. Yes, it's a rainy day. Yes, it's dreary outside. Yes, it may not be as warm as you would like for it to be. But here's the thing that we all must recognize: to every situation, to every circumstance, some rain must fall in order for growth to take place. And so I'm not complaining about it. I'm not getting bent out of shape about it because um, this is just the way it is. Good midday to you, Doe and Cora. Bless the Lord for each and every one of you. Good midday, Linda. We're just grateful to God. I see, excuse me, I see y'all as y'all are coming on and thankful to God for each and every one of you. Pastor Gordon, excuse me, Jordan, grateful for you being with us. No, I have not gotten any rest. Um, Gina, Thea, Jaleesa, Minister Sarah. No, I thought that I was, hey, Nancy, I thought that I was going to get some rest. And then my granddaughter uh, went into labor. Okay, Valerie, Elder Mansell. And so Sunday began that process. They were trying to get her. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, and that began that. That's when Lady Harrison left the picnic and went home, and then it's been a process. And so they worked on her and did all kind of stuff. And around about 6 something this morning, she had her little boy. Bobby McKenzie, how are you? And so good midday, Denise Jemison. Bless the Lord for you. Barbara, good to see you all the way from the capital city. Gaither, bless you. Excuse me for being with us. And so yeah, I was up posting the scripture reading for today. And then the next thing I know, my daughter texts me. And in the midst of texting me, she, her mother didn't hear the text because the phone was in the other room, in the bathroom. And so I got up. I mean, I didn't get up. I got from where I was in the office and told her, and she got herself together. And then I followed her over to the hospital because her eyesight. Sharita, how are you? Thank you so much. And so followed, make sure everything was all right, all that kind of good stuff. And so I went back home, and of course I was texting Treyana, and she was texting me. That was an amazing moment. And her mom and grandmother, and we were doing all of this, and I must have fell asleep. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? And when I woke up, I couldn't have went to sleep no more than 20 minutes or so. When I woke up, they had sent me the pictures of the little boy, and he's got a set of lungs on him. He's a determined young man. Minister Marcia, how are you? And so my granddaughter, because this is my great grandson. This is number 5 or 6 when it comes down to great grands. And she just texted me and said they said that I could come up and pray over the baby. And so he's doing good, Elder Mansell. He's doing really, really good. He's going to be in there for a few weeks. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Barbara, how you doing? Ethel, how are you this good midday? And so they're going to do good midday, Ida. They're going to do what they need to do. Raymond, Vernice, good midday to you, so that we can make sure that both of them are well. And so we're grateful to God for your prayers, your concern for those of you that knew. Um, and it was a long struggle for this little girl. And you have to know my granddaughter. So the thing is, our prayer is now that the hard part, she'll go through it in raising him, and just kind of go through all of that. So she's tired, but she's still texting me, um, and that that's my baby. But I'm not gonna let my baby take advantage of me. But she's still my baby. Y'all know what I'm saying. And so because she's spoiled, and so shall it be. But the baby is doing well. She is doing well. The mom, my daughter, I think she went home to try to get some rest, because it's been just as trying on her as it is Lady Harrison, because they've been up here for hours over the past, let me see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 2.5 days, 2.5 days. So, and then I haven't had much sleep. I'm still tired from Sunday, but had to do what I needed to do. Had to, stay in touch. They only allowed two people. Pee Wee, how are you? They only allowed two people. Period. Period. Okay, during that particular period of time, and so she just told me that two people can see the baby and three people can see her. And I'm going to get the visitation hours straightened out so I'll know what to do. So thank you. You know what, Denise? I got the streaming apparatus didn't work Sunday. Carolyn, how are you? Didn't work Sunday because we had a bad Ethernet cable, and the computer was too far away to run on Bernice, what am I gonna do with you? And so we had to do some stuff there. We had the picnic. God knows I had all of the help that we could possibly have. And so I've finished throwing away the old and put in, got the new Ethernet cable. Then I gotta go. In the garage. We got a channel that's not working on the outdoor PA system, and so I'm going to fix that, get that together. Hey, Iris, how are you? And do that, and then let me go ahead. I might as well just go ahead and get this out there. We're going to change how we worship outside. It looks like we will be outside. But the change that we're going to do, and we really got a good glimpse of it Sunday, and it was confirmed through other people as well. Laverne, how are you? Good midday to you. Is what we're going to do is we're going to change up how we are in our worship service outside. We're going to limit the numbers of persons who will park in the gated parking lot, the fenced-in parking lot, and there'll only be so many of those. Everyone else is going to enter on Rand Avenue, and we're going to block Lincoln Avenue off. Okay. By doing so, this will enable us to allow everyone to see us that are parked on the grassy area, and we really wanted to get that together, and we really saw that at the angle more people can see, so there'll be less people who will be parking in that fenced-in lot, and more people will be parking in the grassy lot. and everyone will be able to see. And so we want to, because right now we're off to one side. One group sees us well, the other side in the other lot doesn't. So we're going to do that Sunday. I'm going to get the schematics out to those who will be setting it up so that they know exactly how to do that. So we'll do that. And yes, we have a praise report about Cora. We went up and had prayer with her before she had her procedure. All went well. And it was exciting to see her. It was exciting to see Ella May. And so we are, hey, Winnie, good midday to you. So the Lord is still in the blessing, healing, and miracle business. And we are just glad for what he does and how he does what he does. So let me say thank you one and all for a fabulous, just an unbelievable experience on Sunday. And, you know, I am so blessed to have such good people. And it shows. It shows. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about Satan, and let's talk about how he tries to the best of his ability to fortify his arsenal against us. And we got to really be clear about this. And I've said this, and I know, hey, Sister Thomas, how are you? I know that I'm really redundant in that. I know I am. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. But I want us to get this, to recognize this, and to understand this, that as I had said before, he is methodical. He has studied us. And so what he can do, and I know this, what I'm getting ready to say is redundant because it's a part of what I taught some time ago, but he is good at building barriers, okay? And in the midst of that, in the midst of the barriers that he builds, those barriers become obstructions. And not a problem, Jemison. They become obstructions that stand in the way of some things. And he does this believing that he can bring permanence to it, because he understands that if he can keep those barriers up there, he also understands what those barriers block out. Paul calls them strongholds in 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Again, this is where I'm at, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 5. Paul says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. And that's one of the major problems that takes place. We always, from time to time, seem to try to come up with some kind of human ingenuity that will allow us to overcome some things that are going on in our lives. And what we fail to understand and what we fail to recognize is that the battle is not physical, it's spiritual, which means the arsenal for spiritual warfare has to be totally different than the arsenal that's used in hand-to-hand combat. And this is so important for us to recognize, because it's just like a mechanic. If he plans on working on a car, he has to have the appropriate tools. Some tools are numeric, some tools are metric, and there's a difference in the size. It's a difference in the functionality. It's a difference in the application. And that's what we've got to understand and to see very clearly, that if I'm going to win this battle, if I'm going to overcome, if I'm going to be everything that God would have me to be, I've got to make sure that I have the appropriate tools and weaponry in order for me to be victorious. Okay. And so Paul calls them strongholds. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for the pulling down of strongholds. He calls them strongholds. And what you have to remember, what am I talking about when I talk about a stronghold? You're basically talking about an erected barrier. Help me to teach this like you gave it to me, Lord. An erected barrier. He wants this fortress, this stronghold, to be permanent. And so what he does is he allows horrible things to come in your life and bad situations to come into your life and horrible people to come into your life, family destruction to come into your life, out of control children, grandchildren, whatever the case may be, loss of job, crazy folk on the job, crazy people everywhere, not able to make ends meet, finance rates crazy, car break. He does all of these things at the most vulnerable times in our lives so that these barriers are erected. And when these barriers are put up or strongholds are put together or fortresses, it actually means, and what Satan's intent is that they become permanent. And in the permanency of the erected strongholds or walls or barriers, he now takes up residence. He now takes residence in them to make sure that they remain fortified. Because you got to remember, it's not good enough. And he understands weaponry and warfare clearly. It's not good enough for him to erect them and then walk away from them. What he has to do is he has to make sure that he maintains them, that he makes sure that if there's any cracks or flaws, that he quickly fills them in with other things or other people who will influence us in the wrong area so that the stronghold stays firm. And by doing so, we don't live the life that God would have us to live. He makes himself at home in these strongholds, okay? He gets a grip on our mind until we begin to think there is no way to overcome. There is no way out of the problem. There's no way I can handle this. I can't pay this. I can't do that. I can't do the other. And so what happens is, that's right, Barbara, keep Elder Bowdry lifted in prayer and Becky Salter as well. And so what has to be understood and what has to be seen is that I have to be able to do something with my mind. It will make you think I'm too old, I'm too stupid, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too short, I'm too tall. He puts these things into our minds and then he watches us cultivate it to the point that now we live in it and we believe that my marriage is jacked up. It's always going to be this way. My church won't act right. People don't treat me right. The world is crazy. Hey, Kathy, how are you? And so the problem is whenever you hear a Christian say, no way, it can't be done. I've tried everything and it doesn't work. You're looking at someone who has allowed Satan to build a fortress in their minds. However, that fortress got there, it is constructed by the devil. It is constructed by the evil one. It is constructed by someone who never wants you to live past that stronghold. And by doing so, you now deny that God is able to do all things through you because now you have cultivated limitations that the enemy has set before you. And it's on a regular basis. That's the reason why some people can't lift up hands before the Lord is because they're in bondage. They're still POWs, prisoners of war. All of these things are going on in their lives, and it's in their mind. The stronghold is a mindset that holds you hostage. It makes you believe that you're in a hopeless situation and you do not have the power to change it. That's why when you hear people say, I can't, the only reason I say I can't when God says I can is because Satan has made a home in your head. And because of that, you now believe Satan over and above God. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I need us to get this. This is so important, and it controls y'all better get ready for this. It not only controls your behavior, it also controls your health. Teach, Pastor, I'm doing the best I know how. It controls your health because what you think you become, and it manifests itself in your body. And you gotta remember this. You gotta remember this because if you can say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, then all things is all things, even if the all thing baggage is 40 years old. You've got to know this, and you have to live past that. But you cannot do it if you continue to tell yourself what you can't do. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying to step into a ministry or to operate in a gift that God didn't give you. I'm talking about living every day. When you get up in the morning and you bless the Lord that he kept you last night, you have to bring under control those thought processes that say, well, you know what? Ain't no need me doing nothing today. Don't nobody love me. Don't nobody care anything about me. Nobody's concerned about me. I can't find a man to love me. I can't find a woman to love me. I can't find anybody to care about me. Nobody sees about me. And you need to remember that when you say those things, y'all better be ready for this. You also hear what you say. And when you hear what you say, you become what you hear. Okay, y'all didn't catch. When you hear what you say, you become what you hear. That's why faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Unless you are ingesting the word of God, you are ingesting something else. And whatever you are, let's talk about alcohol. Okay, let's talk about alcohol. Before you take your first drink, you are in your sober mind. You are in control of your mouth, your actions, your deeds, your activities. You are in control of it. The truth of the matter is, after you get the first shot, you kind of feel good, but it's a false sense of security, because that's why they call it spirits. Because what happens is what you ingest now begins to control your activities and your mindset. And the next thing you know, when you get your second shot, you are no longer in control. That's why you'll say stuff that you normally wouldn't say. That's why you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do. That's why you participate in stuff that you normally wouldn't participate in, because you are no longer in control of your activities. It is the alcohol, the spirit of the alcohol, that is telling you to do things and to be things and to be a part of something that for the most part you are no longer in control of. There's a saying, a drunk man speaks his sober mind. And so since you're supposed to have the mind of Christ, a drunk mind shouldn't even be a part of your being, a part of. Okay, I know I messed up, but you got to remember something. Satan is able to erect these fortresses, these strongholds. And what he does is he begins to create lofty and ridiculous ideas. And so what happens is you can't really control your mind, because, as it says in John 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable. Wait a minute. Let me look at it. Marcus, how you doing, sir? Because I know somebody out here is gonna say, "Oh, I don't believe nothing you say." That's okay. You ain't gonna believe nothing I say. But I'm gonna just read it. I'm gonna read it, so you can understand it for yourself. Because sometimes people think, sometimes we make up this kind of stuff. Okay. It says here, can I go to, let me go to James 1:6 and then stop at 8. But let him ask in faith, not doubting, for he who doubts is like the wave of the sea, tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord, for he is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. And this is where the enemy wants you to be. God establishes us to acquire his assistance by faith. which means we don't see it, but we believe it. We trust because of the integrity of God's word. Satan says, I want you to look at your situation. And when you look at it, because you've looked at it too long, now you are no longer walking by faith, but you're walking by sight. And so you're teetering between faith and failure, teetering between trusting God and not trusting God. And it says in the text that a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. They can't make a decision. They don't know why they're here. They don't enjoy life. For a moment, they're happy. Another moment, they're sad. We call it schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever the case may be. But a lot of these actions don't necessarily have to be solved by medication. They can be solved by a change of mind. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ. Listen, I got to go. I done kept y'all too long. When we come back tomorrow, I pray that I can get a little bit further. I'm sorry that it's taking me so long to get through this and to get to the end of what I'm teaching. But I just feel in my heart that, and if it's okay with y'all, that this is really what the Lord would have me do. The Lord would have me teach, because there's too many of us, especially in this age of madness and chaos. We need to be stable, because we are operating in an unstable world with crazy people who could care less about who you are, where you are, and why you are. But when you know whose you are, woo, it makes a difference in your life. And let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens. Your stability, Walina, your stability is not predicated upon faulty, fickle, and funny people. It's predicated upon a rock that is sure, solid, capable, tried, tested, and true. I'm done. I'm done. Listen, love y'all with the love of Jesus Christ from the depths of my heart. I keep forgetting to do this every single time, and they fuss at me about this. But if we've been a blessing to you, I just want to put it up here for just a moment so you can see it. No gift is too large. No gift is too small. The Lord has blessed us, and we want you to know, since we're blessing you, could you just be a blessing to us? You can do it through Givelify, PayPal. You can do all of those things. Cash App, $Union 528. You can call the church. You can drop it off at the church. Just make the check out the Union Baptist Church, put it in the mail, drop it off in the secured mail slot, and we will believe God right along with you that he will do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ever ask or think. Continue to pray for Elder Bowdry oh my God, Barbara, give me the name. Give me the name of Salter. Continue to lift them up in prayer. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna go home once I get done with everything else. I'm gonna try to rest, but then my grandbaby done called me, text me, talking about I need you to come up and bless my baby. So that's the end of that conversation. We also want you to keep Veronica Mosley lifted up in prayer. Rebecca Salter, thank you so much, because the homegoing celebration for her mother is going to be Friday at Black's Funeral Home, calling hours 10 to 11, and the celebration of life at 11 o'clock. So when it comes down to rest, we'll see. And then on that Friday, we're driving up to Toledo. Pastor and Lady Jones are renewing their vows, and they brought all of us together so we could witness that and have a worship service and all that kind of good stuff. So listen, as I lift you, lift me, lift my family in prayer, especially lift that little boy that was just born this morning. Love you. Take care. Be blessed, as only God knows how to bless you. May God bless you. May he keep you, is our prayer.